Hello, gamers. Our controlled democracy is in danger. Have a family? It got eaten by a giant insects who are capturing planet after planet until they won't take over everyone. On the other side, cyborg socialists who won't accept our controlled democracy and freedom. That's why we need to make them free using force and bring our democracy to them. So sign up for being a Helldiver. You will find yourself in exotic places and meet new forms of life, to exterminate them once and for all, to protect our controlled democracy. Every person who won't watch this video start to end will be considered a traitor for our democracy, because every man, woman and child older than 7 years old should work for the sake of our controlled democracy and listen to every material created by our Ministry of Truth. The time of uncontrolled democracy has passed, when votes of people could change the government and, oh god, there was no such thing as Ministry of Truth, which stands as a moral compass in our society. That's why we celebrate 26th of October as the Day of Freedom, because in that day we have accepted controlled democracy dividing our society to the classes A and B. And the class B generously is allowed to step away from their work for an hour a day to enjoy the parade on the television. Our enemies are the bugs, who are capturing more and more territories, uncontrollably recreating and evolving. Regularly we are cleaning out the planet after planet, but fortunately for us, these bugs are creating valuable resources for the humankind, so we're capturing some specimen, creating farms. Unfortunately, these farms sometimes are becoming new source of spread, but our Helldivers army are always ready to deal with these problems. We also have cyborg socialists who left the Super Earth long time ago and allegedly were existing in the dark corners of the galaxy, where they were fanatically replacing their body parts with cyber implants. The government of Super Earth generously were not interacting with these renegades, but for some reason they decided to detonate a bomb in one of our cities, what became the company of their destruction. Some of you had questions about how did they appear in one of our cities, but that's not important. Every 5 years the cycle repeats itself. When cyborgs detonate a bomb, we bring them democracy, give them autonomy, and leave them be. After what, they gather their forces and attack our humble citizens. Some non-patriots are talking that our government is specially making it up to not take off the state of military command and leave the politics of military economy, when brave men, women and children are working at the military compounds. But these people were considered traitors and were executed because such actions as treason are considered worth of a death penalty. Because only by combining our forces we can support our guys at the front line, bringing democracy to the far regions in space. Before that we were bringing democracy only on the PlayStation platform, where our potential was limited by the audience of this platform, limited by the need to pay taxes for the PlayStation Plus, and we also had to do it in isometry, what limited the potential of our soldiers. Of course, after some time we were released on Steam, but only 6 months after their original release, which was not as successful as we thought. But now we're fighting more effectively, but the third-person view with the latest graphics. Our government decided to occupy and assimilate gamers from the Steam platform which for a long time was rejecting our attempts of good heart expansion, because of so-called low quality of our projects which were releasing there. And it gave us results. The amount of volunteer in the Helldivers army exceeded all of our expectations so far, that our servers at the release would stop working. But do not worry, every worker responsible for servers were punished to the fullest extent of the galaxy law. So now you can enjoy extermination of aliens without crashing and disconnect. Some of you were not pleased by us using too harsh anti-cheat system and Protect GameGuard, which allegedly violates your right for a personal freedom and privacy, while it having access to your whole SSD and working on the core level of your operational system, slightly lowering performance of the game. And yes, if you delete the game, anti-cheat will still be there, leaving a wonderful backdoor for hacking your system, but this is absolutely non-important. Even despite this game being only PvE, this project doesn't have PvP mode, such anti-cheat is irreplaceable for the game and not to steal your personal data. And of course, it was not the core of the problem because of which some players couldn't enter the game on the release. And all of these bad reviews were left there by some traitors of the democracy, who will soon stand in front of our fair trial. Also, some players didn't understand why they needed to create a PlayStation account to play with their friends, even if they do not have a console. But I am sure you'll understand that some PC peasants could not be accepted to play together with Sony gods without some specific assimilation and registering as a citizen satellite of the PlayStation platform. You should consider it as a greatest honor because you're allowed to play together with the players of the best platform there is right now, which is called PlayStation 5. Be grateful that we do not make you pay for PlayStation Plus on PC to play in our network. And the simulation went so well that there are more PC players right now than players on PlayStation 5. But know this, becoming a true citizen is to buy the only right platform, PlayStation 5. So now consider that you have just created a PlayStation account in advance. And of course, some percent should go to the person named Gabe Newell, but we will compensate that by adding microtransactions in our game, where the reviews are awesome, and those who think otherwise are written by the traitors of freedom and are prosecuted right now. So, Helldivers 2 the phenomenon for the PlayStation, because Sony got so used to failure of their live services that they have lowered their expectations a lot. But this game exceeds it 10 to 20 times. So right now in the game developer studio, one half of the personnel is opening champagne, and the second one is trying to get rid of the fire in the place where some time ago were servers, because servers are not getting on with the load. I've played almost 20 hours this week, and there were some times when the load was so great that I got kicked out of the game several times. But there's more, the system requirements are underestimated in Steam. Despite me having a mobile 3070 and Ryzen 7 5800H, at first I was getting unstable 30 FPS in 1080p, and right now I am playing stable 45 FPS on the lowest setting possible in the same 1080p. Some reviews say that there were also some bugs which I missed, fortunately. But if the game is so problematic, why are you playing it? And why thousands of people are playing it as well? Because Helldivers 2 is the best console exclusive for PlayStation 5 for the latest years. Because Helldivers 2 is every man's dream when you together with 3 teammates are exterminating hordes of giant bugs and socialistic robots. I've never seen something like this viral video about a guy calling in sick in sake of democracy.
You gotta be fucking kidding me, it's already 7 AM? I have to be at work in a fucking hour, dude.
Hey, I can't make it in today. I'm really not feeling well. I woke up with a fever. I've just been puking all morning. Alright, thank you. I appreciate it. You have a good one too.
For democracy, boys! Let's fucking go!
Continuing the talk about the game, you can feel how fragile your character is. You can be killed after a few hits, or a mighty opponent will smash you and won't even notice that. But working as a team lets you succeed in extermination. If in the beginning you are a tank rushing forward and shooting your opponents, then after some time you get access to stratagems, when you can call for different extra guns, ammunition, and even a huge orbital strike. So the game shows itself from a completely different angle. There's something in the head of almost every Helldivers 2 player when you launch a nuke and bring democracy and freedom to some location on a map while enjoying the view. The fragility of your character is put forward by friendly fire, when it is a necessity to tell your teammates about an orbital strike so your team wouldn't become victims of friendly fire from space. Even with turrets, if you place one and stand in the way of fire, you are gonna to be killed by it. So collaboration is a necessity in this game to succeed, especially in some higher levels, when your spawn counts. In this game you are always in one step from the death, so it makes the game more fun and full of adrenaline compared to other PvE games. This is the game of not character development in game, but the player development, since you have to adapt to the higher level of complexity by learning how to use your basic stuff like guns, stratagems, or orbital help or strike. And every new open skill and perk, the game opens from a completely different perspective. If on the lowest level of development you are almost never using stratagems, and as said before, you are just rushing in, then after some time stratagems are the integral part of your gameplay, if you want to succeed of course. And let's not forget about some co-working in this game. When on lowest levels it is possible to clear the map alone, then after some time and after unlocking some perks, teamwork becomes a necessity, like for example following alone ammunition of your teammates so you can take an ammo backpack to supply your teammates, or take a rocket launcher so your teammate may load the bazooka while you are shooting it. The protocol for playing in this game is following. We arrive, request for specific guns and other perks like laser robot from the orbit, and start to explore the map on our way to the main objective, and completing side quests to receive more money and experience at the end of the mission. For example, you can activate a radio tower so it will show you places of interest on a map, then hideouts with some stuff useful to you like specific guns or credits for the donation shop. And also, as mentioned before, this game requires teamwork even in solving some easy tasks, like one teammate stays at the terminal while others are lining towers or opening the silo of the nuke. So you're always doing something, killing enemies, looking for the solution of a side quest, running for your dear life, ammunition is low, help needed for some of teammates, and so on. Helldivers 2 is the game where there is no such thing as boring. You can always, even on lower levels, find something to do, or to be precise, something finds you, making your experience in game full of action without any unnecessary parts of the game. At first you are afraid of the higher levels, but after unlocking some stuff, lower level becomes easier than before. So go further just to get some challenge, more enemies, more danger, more missions, and more rewards. But at the same time, higher risk to leave the session with nothing. There is also such thing on the level 8 of the complexity as random stratagems. For example, you're requesting for the ammunition, but the stuff you get is an orbital strike to your location. And let's not forget that not only enemies are dangerous, but also the environment of the planet, like vegetation which explodes when you step onto it, dealing some heavy damage, or vegetation that makes you slower or kicks you right to the enemy horde. This can even be a friendly landmine, so you accidentally step on it and die. The planets are different with different weather. For example, on the winter planet, you move slower because of the snow, but during the fight, snow partially disappears in the locations you are moving in, so even that is not the complete stuff there. This is very beautiful and variable in terms of graphics game. Even though I had to put low to medium settings to have constant FPS, the graphics is still amazing. Like winter planets, bright planets, or some moon-like planets with Death Stranding vibes, or the planets full of vegetation, so during some peaceful moments you can really enjoy the visuals of this game. Also, similarly as in the Left 4 Dead, here you have a game master who will try to sabotage your ideal plan just to have some fun. Every conquest in this game is a live event, and after completing every mission you can see how you impacted the annexing of the planet in percents by Helldivers. It is called the Galactic Conquest when you see the progress in real time of all the players. Coming to every specific planet you can see hundreds of other ships as yours, with them sending stratagems to the planets where Helldivers try to complete some quests. And this galactic conquest is the reason why this game needs such powerful anti-cheat. The thing is that the first game didn't have an anti-cheat at all, so some players abused this system by using cheats on resources and so on, that Galactic Conquest simply broke sometimes. And as I get it, the developers decided to close any opportunity of that happening again, and the developers swear, of course, that this anti-cheat is going to be deleted alongside with the game, so there is nothing to worry about. Talking about navigation in game. Surprisingly, I found myself playing on controller a lot, even though I sucked in shooters with controller. But in this game, I simply exterminate everything with around 60 to 70% of accuracy. And let's not forget about the vibration. Since the game was developed by Sony Studios, even while playing with DualSense on PC, in wired mode at least, you get this pleasant vibration while shooting, flying, and so on. So, if there is a possibility for you, I highly recommend trying it out. It is completely new level of immersion. I highly recommend buying this game if you have friends who have bought this game as well, since despite the matchmaking working fine, the voice chat in the game is either that or, as you can hear it right now, pretty shitty.
Ouais, bah débarrasse la table. Ouais, tu prennes. Débarrasse la table. Vas-y, va préparer tes affaires, c'est pour ta vie.
So friends and Discord is your better option. But of course, if you're playing alone, you can send SOS beacon so the game will send you some additional Helldivers. But the probability of them being as your friend in Discord are close to zero. Moreover, if you see your friend playing, you can join his lobby to complete his mission together. All of that creates the feeling of living and breathing community that is always close, ready to support you. While writing this plan for the video, I stumbled across a tweet from the developers who were telling that bugs got pushed back and the robots are going forward, so the galactic forces got sent over to that front. It happened around a month ago, and the results of the developer's decision can be seen still on the Conquest map. And of course, there was a hint of opening a new front with a secret fraction, so the things are only getting started right now, and this war is going to continue for a long period of time. And I'm really happy that this game was released on PC at the date of release on PlayStation 5, since community was only for it, despite some people on Twitter complaining about it, but I doubt it that these people will buy the game. So it is pretty successful project for Sony, and as I see it, a great start of getting rid of exclusives on PlayStation for cross-platforming sake. And on the 14th of February, Hiroki Tokoti, Sony president, told that Sony is planning to release some more games in cross-platform, since the Helldivers was such a success. And also, at the same 14th of February, a petition appeared on Change.org to make Helldivers 2 version for the Xbox. And at the moment of me writing this script, there is more than 100k signatures there. So I hope that it is the start of getting rid of exclusives for more money's sake, because profits Sony likes much better than a bunch of PlayStation fanboys complaining about the game being non-exclusive on Twitter. So we are getting to the industry rebuilding to getting more profits of the cross-platform, and I think that is amazing.